In previous units of this InDesign CS6 course, we've talked about how to create brand new InDesign documents, set up the pages the way you'd like them to be, and then bring content, graphic materials, and text into those InDesign CS6 documents, arranging them, formatting them, and scaling them so they appear the way you'd like them to appear in the final version of your InDesign CS6 document. But if you're somewhere they've been using InDesign for a while, you have another option for bringing content into your InDesign CS6 documents, and that is simply to grab it from ones that have been created before, especially if you're only making minor changes or modifications to the formatting of those documents, as opposed to creating brand new ones from scratch. We've worked with how to bring content in from scratch and design it for the first page of our InDesign CS6 card flyer that we've been working with here. For the second page, what we'll do is we'll actually bring the content in from an existing InDesign CS6 document. Now, I could change to page 2 right here by simply double-clicking on this page as we've done for previous units in our InDesign CS6 course. But I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time. I'm going to shrink this palette back into our side dock. Then I'm going to go all the way down to the lower left-hand corner of our document window. Now you'll notice just to the right of page number 1 that there are two triangles, actually 3, with a little bar if you want to go all the way across for that. But we have two triangles, one that points down that would let me select between pages, and this one that goes to the right, which simply allows me to select the next page. I'm going to do that here. And when I do that, it'll bring us to our blank second page. As we're going to be bringing content from an existing InDesign CS6 document, let's go to where that's located on our systems. So I'm going to go to the File pull-down menu, and I'm going to select Open. As I'm working on a Mac system for this chapter of our InDesign course, you'll see the keyboard shortcut to the right of that is Command-O. If you're working on a Windows PC system for this InDesign course, your keyboard shortcut would be Control-O. I'm going to click on this menu command, and when I do that, it should take us to the same place we've been for placing that original content in our InDesign CS6 document, Chapter 02 subfolder in our Project Files InDesign CS6 Essentials folder. So with that done, I'm going to expand this just a little bit, and you'll see this backofcardflyer.indd file. This is the InDesign document that we're going to use to bring the content for page 2, the inside of the card flyer we've been creating for this InDesign course. So I'm going to double click on that. And when I do that, it's going to open up a second tab in our document window that shows the back of the card flyer. Now, one thing I could do is, as I've done for grabbing other elements that we're working with, I could simply select everything here, and I could go to the Edit pull-down menu and select Copy to select all that content, and then go Paste to place it into the InDesign document that we've been working with for this chapter of our InDesign course. Or if I really wanted to be about it, I could even use that Paste in Place menu command. Command Option Shift V as in Victor if you're working on the Mac, as we are in this chapter of our InDesign course. Or if you're on a Windows PC, it would be Control Alt Shift V. We're not going to do that. As I said, we've got another way that we can bring that in, and in this case what we're going to do is we're going to literally drag and drop the content from one page into the page of the InDesign document that we have been working on. So I'm going to click over here and deselect that menu command, and then I'm going to select all the content that we're going to copy. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold the mouse button off to the upper left of our document. I'm going to hold it down, and I'm going to drag down and to the right and drag what's known as a selection marquee that covers all three of the elements that we want to copy. You don't have to completely surround those elements. This selection marquee only has to touch the ones that you want to select. And when I let up the mouse button, you'll see that all of those elements are now selected. So we've got the content we want to take from one page and place into the InDesign document that we've been working on for this chapter of our course. We can do that by setting these literally side by side, working up here with the Arrange Documents button at the top of our InDesign desktop. When I click on that, I have options for how I can arrange those pages. Since we only have two InDesign documents up in our document window, there's only two ways we can arrange them. We could put these two windows horizontally, or we can put them vertically, and that's the option that I'm going to select. And when I click on it, you'll see that those two pages now appear side by side. The back of card flyer document is highlighted, and I can tell that because the type is in black right up here, and I can also see little things like the reduce in size, full screen, and close buttons are actually highlighted in this InDesign document. For the one that we've been working with throughout this chapter, I can see that one's inactive, and I know that because the text is actually grayed out for that document, and unless I click right into these button areas, we'll see that in fact those are not highlighted. They're grayed out as well. So we've got indications to which document is live, the one that I want to take this content from, and then what's inactive, the document I want to place it into. I'm going to take my cursor and place it in the middle of these three elements, hold the mouse button down, and literally drag it over into the other document, arranging it exactly where I want it to be. And you'll also notice if you look at the cursor that there are two little arrows that are there, one of them over the top of the other, and those arrowheads let me know that I'm copying content and moving it over. When I release the mouse button, you'll see that that content is now inside the document that we've been working at within our InDesign CS6 course. We can now just close the one that we copied that content from. It'll ask if we want to save any changes, and we'll say for the sake of argument that no, we don't want to save anything. All we've done is selected it and actually moved it over into a brand new document. So I'm going to say don't save, which leaves us with our one remaining document window, the one with the document that we've been working with throughout this chapter of our InDesign CS6 course. I'm going to go down here and scale it across just like so we can see it on the full screen again, and then I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Command S since I'm working on a Mac system. If you're on your Windows PC, using Control S to save that work. We don't want to lose what we've done, and we've actually completed this unit of our InDesign CS6 course.